My name is Kara, and I live in Longmont, Colorado. We're planting zone 4. I purchased the greenhouse last spring, and it took me most of the summer to get the base installed and then build it and then build the planters inside that you'll see and get it all set up. I decided about 20 years ago that I wanted a greenhouse, that I needed a greenhouse in Colorado. And I just was always looking at the growing domes. It's out of my price range. So I started searching, and this Planta greenhouse popped up and was affordable and felt like it could meet my needs. So I needed the greenhouse to increase the length of the growing season and to protect against hail and animals. We get very high winds. We can get gusts up to 80 miles an hour. We can get hail, we can get heavy snow, and it's done great. I mean, we just had hail, a really bad hailstorm that destroyed our roof that bad, and the greenhouse is doing quite well. There's a few little dents in it, but nothing that punctured or went all the way through. You can see in the other garden areas just a comparison between how far along the other plants are versus what's in the greenhouse. In the greenhouse, it's looks like midsummer, and out here it's still early spring. Oh, I'm growing vegetables. I am on a health journey, and so trying to eat things with high vitamin content, high nutritional value. There's this idea that as soon as you pick a vegetable or a fruit, it starts losing its nutritional value over time. And so the idea that for lunch, I'll come out here and pick what I would like to put, the vegetables that I would like to put in my lunch right then and eat them right then, or put them in my smoothie in the morning. So I just come out and snip a few leaves of broccoli, snip a few leaves of kale, a few leaves of lettuce, of beet greens, and just make a salad or stir fry, or just wilt them and just eat them. I didn't have a lot of options. I didn't want a concrete base. That was just going to cost a ton of money. I had landscapers come in and take out all of this sod, and so I had them. My husband cut the beams, the timbers to length, and then I had the landscapers level it. And so it was the correct size too. That's important. So you can see that there's bar that's just pounded through the wood into the ground. It's not going anywhere. I mean, you could say, oh, well, it could lift up. Well, nothing's going to lift it up, but there's enough of those that strong winds aren't going to lift it up. So the planter boxes, I wanted raised beds because I'm older and I don't want to have to lean over all the time to garden. These are made out of pressure treated, the new type of pressure treated wood that's supposed to be good, but I still didn't trust it. So I have 2-inch thick, the pink foam building insulation wrapped in plastic all around the bed. So it's an insulated bed also. And then once I got that in, then I did the hugelkultur thing where I took logs. So there's a foot of this raised bed is logs, and then branches, and then twigs, and then greenery, all decomposing in there. And then a foot of it is soil and compost. The idea is that that's constant decomposition is constantly nourishing the soil. I have a drip system. Everything's on automatic irrigation. This property is irrigated from ditch water, so which turns off in October and turns on in May. So in the winter, what I have is this IBC tank. I took, it's a standard tank that you can buy. I took it out, I painted it all black. In the wintertime, I fill that with water, and that's my water source. And then I have a pump that pumps water into the drip system on an automatic controller. The other thing that this does in the wintertime is because it's black, it's absorbing all the sun. In Colorado, we have lots of sunny days in the winter. And so that sun then heats the water, and it creates a thermal mass which keeps the temperature in the greenhouse higher than it would be without the thermal mass. And so that's the idea also of the rocks on the floor. The rocks also absorb the heat and retain the heat, and particularly in the wintertime, It helps to moderate the temperature. So what happens is you will have temperature fluctuation between night and day, but they won't be rapid. So this is important for the winter time to reduce heat loss. Because this, in the winter time, it gets in here, it can get to 90 degrees. Even when it's like 60 outside or 50 outside or 40 outside, it can still get really hot in here because of the sun. But then at night, all that heat wants to go out. So this is to protect the heat loss in the winter. I read that in greenhouses that fans are important to keep the air moving, that if you don't have air motion, then you can get mold on your plants. It also creates a better climate for insects that you don't want, not the insects you do want. You're just trying to get some good airflow in addition to opening up the vents and things to get things moving. We do have a 100-watt solar panel installed, and we're running all winter. I ran the pump off the 100-watt solar panel, but now we're also trying to run the fan. So the motion detecting lights, in the winter, you think, why do you need it? Because it's light all the time. It's not in the wintertime. In the wintertime, it gets dark at 5 or 6. And so if I need vegetables for dinner and I come out and pick them, I need the lights to turn on. I love the automatic opening windows, because that means I don't have to come out here all the time and open it up, because it gets really hot. The sun in Colorado is really intense and it gets really hot. I have thermometers in there that say it gets above 100 degrees, even in the springtime, even sometimes on sunny days in the winter. So having those windows pop up automatically kind of makes it so I don't have to worry about coming out and opening it up. The other thing I love about it is the split doors. I have a lot of rabbits on the property, so that allows me also to get ventilation but not allow the rabbits in. The third, I like the way it looks. So, because I was looking at greenhouses at Costco and places like that, and I was like, oh, they're not very nice looking. I don't really want an eyesore in my yard. But it gives me a place where I can grow my vegetables and have a longer growing season.